white people broke the earth. White people. Not all of you individually, but the systems you built, the empires you enforced, the profit you prioritized over life. You broke the earth. You didn't just show up and settle. You came with guns, greed, and God. You took land that wasn't yours, spilled blood on sacred ground, and called it destiny. You clear-cut forests, enslaved people, dug holes in the earth for gold, turned the sky into a smokestack, and renamed the destruction growth. You made the land yours by force. You made water something to sell. You made civilization mean white skin, private property, and concrete. You told the world that nature was wild, that people who honored it were savages, and that domination was salvation. And when the earth cried out, when her lungs burned and her rivers turned black, you didn't stop. You invented new ways to profit from collapse. Now you want to fix it? Now you want to lead the way? No, you are not the solution. You are the crisis. But this story doesn't end with you, because the earth is not dead, not defeated. It is wounded, but it remembers. It remembers those who loved it before you fenced it off, and mined its soul. It remembers the songs sung to rivers, the hands that planted with gratitude, the fire keepers, the medicine carriers, the people who knew the earth was not a thing, but a living relative. We remember too. We remember that your empires are fragile, that your borders are fake, that your wealth is stolen, and that your time is running out. The earth can be healed, but not by white saviors, not by carbon offsets, not by policies written in boardrooms. Healing will come through justice, through land back, through reparations, through abolition, through the return of what was stolen, and the dismantling of what never should have existed. The earth isn't dying, it's remembering, and it will only heal when white power ends. Cope.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and verse 7. It reads, "And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, first and foremost, Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah HaKodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is his sisters, that listening and learning. The title of this edification is "They Are the Cancer of the Earth." Alright? They are the cancer of the earth. And when we say they, we are speaking of the so-called white man. Alright? The so-called white man, who are the Edomites, the biblical Edomites, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. They are the cancer of the earth. And as long as these people are upon the face of the earth and in rulership upon the face of the earth will continue to be in a mourning stage. The earth will continue to be under death and hell. Yeah? This is what it is. Because what you have is Job 9 and 24. Job 9 and 24, it reads, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Alright, into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if the so-called white man is not the wicked that the Bible speaks of, then who else could it be? Now, as we saw in that clip there, that was a very profound statement, a very profound batch of words that that lady, which I would believe is a Northern Kingdom, alright, a Gadite, that she had was to say. A whole mouthful of words. Truthful words at that. Truthful words at that. Alright? Everything that she said concerning the so-called white man and they being in rulership and all what they have been doing ever since they step foot on the scene is nothing more than death. Alright? It is nothing more than death and destruction. This is what it is. Here it is, they go forth through the four corners of the earth, raping, robbing, stealing, thieving natural resources, destroying the earth, destroying wildlife, deforestation, all these things. All these things. This is what they are known for. This is what they are famous for. They are only famous for destruction, the so-called white man. Having animals going into extinction because they're poaching out the animals and what have you, so forth. These people are a bunch of destructive, wicked people that knows nothing about life and longevity of life. Alright? Chemtrails in the skies. Okay? Heavy chemicals in the food, forever plastics. In nearly everything. Everything of this man is all it only pertains unto death. When it comes to this man, Esau Edom, it doesn't matter whether it be the upper echelon or the low level, because the low level Edomites, they too have a big hand to play. They too have a big hand to play. Alright, because as the lady said, they are actually benefiting from the wickedness of their superiors, of their leaders. Alright? But not only that, but they also too have a great contribution in destruction. Because who you think goes out and do all the poaching of the animals in Africa and what have you, so forth? It's low-level Edomites. Yeah? It's low-level Edomites. You don't see the Rothschilds and them going out there and poultry and what have you, so forth. Alright, these people kill for sport. These people destroy. These people destroy, you know, as if it is nothing. They will go into a forest and cut down acres upon acres, hundreds, thousands of acres of forest. And when even had the decency or the audacity to plan back. Just cut, destroy, you know, place concrete over all what they had destroyed. Alright? And call it construction, innovation, and all these nonsense. Development, construction, development, and all these things. This is what it is with these people. That's why I will always say there is no one that could convince me any otherwise of who these people are, that they are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. There is no way nobody could convince me otherwise. You understand? This is what it is. Because what you have, upon what you have right now, this is what we have. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel 4:17. Daniel chapter 4 and 17, where it reads, "This matter is by the decree of the watchman, and the demand by the word of the Holy One, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men." So, this is what we have. The basis of men that is ruling. And if you have the basis of men ruling upon the face of the earth, the wicked ruling upon the face of the earth, don't expect for anything to be done, you know, in righteousness. Alright? Don't expect anything to be done with you or the earth's best interest at heart. Alright? And if they do, as the scriptures say, because these couple of scriptures just come into my head here, even if they do, Sirach 14, I believe, and 5, let's see. Yeah? Sirach 14 and 5, where it reads, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he do good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly." So even as the lady rightfully said, these people, alright, they do so much wickedness, alright, so much wickedness, so much destruction upon the face of the earth. Do not look to them to be any saviors for all the destruction that they themselves carried out upon the face of the earth. Alright? Do not look for them to be the saviors, because as it says, "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness." There is where it is with this so-called white man. Alright, this is what it is with these devils, man. Alright? A bunch of wicked, evil, murderous people. That's why when I go to, let's take a look at Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5, where it reads, "Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right, he is a proud man. That wine goes into the philosophies, the democracy, and all these things. All these wickedness. All right, neither keep it at home. All right, neither keep it at home. Haters, they go forth through the four corners of the earth, conquering and colonizing and bringing the natives of whatever land that they conquered and colonized under utter subjection, and bringing forth their wicked ideologies, the Christianity and what have you, so forth. All right, with the Cesare Borgia and whatnot, you know, their idolatrous works, all right, and have the whole world in a whole topsy-turvy, all right, as the scripture speaks about the whole world, the whole earth is out of course. Because why? These people are in rulership. All right, these people are in rulership. All right, I ain't taking the video as yet, but Elder Yashawamba, you know, I know the video is defined, and one of the clip, the thumbnail was concerning whales washing ashore. Yeah, whales washing ashore and dying. All right? All because this man is in rulership, and this man is ruling in much wickedness and having the earth under total distress. The earth is stressed out. Yeah, the earth is stressed out. All right? As it says, neither keep it at home. All right? And enlarging it his desire. Yeah? That's not. Yeah, so like, yeah, who enlarging it his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Cannot be satisfied. And this is why the earth is even in more stress. Because this man can never be satisfied. So he is draining and bleeding the earth of everything that it has to offer. And still he can't satisfy. He cannot be satisfied. So as long as he on the face of the earth, he will continue that. It will be a never-ending cycle with this man. It will be a never-ending cycle with these people as long as they are upon the face of the earth. This is why they are the cancer of the earth. All right? They are the cancer of the earth. Okay? So it says, who enlarging it his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against thee, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which is death. All right? Death. Debt. Okay? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. Many nations, man, show the four corners of the earth. Many nations. All right? And the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because, hey, recompense is about to take place very soon. Recompense. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, all right, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, because this man think that he's going to get away. All right, he's going to achieve his new world order and what have you, so forth, and he's going to get away from judgment. But what the Lord said, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out at the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. There's where it is. There's where it is here. These people is only and all about destruction. They are all only about themselves. They are only about themselves. But you see, as the lady said, all right, time is running out for them. And she's correct. All right? There's things that she was saying that is actual prophecy. It's just that, the Lord hadn't put the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh upon her to see it. All right? But as she said, time is running out. That is prophecy. Because when you go to Job, I think it's 5 and 12, I want to believe. No, not 12. Or is it 14, boy? Job 14, I think, I must search through. Yes, Job 14 and 5. And a matter of fact, I'll start from verse 4. Job 14 and 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Not one. And these people were created to be unclean, so they cannot be clean. And seeing that they are unclean and are crooked and perverse people, they would, they being the basis of men, it's only mayhem you would get with when these sort of people is in rulership. But the Lord said what? Verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds, that what? That he cannot pass. So his time is limited. His time is upon him. And he knows it. You think he don't know it? He knows it. He knows his time is upon him. All right? And that's why he is increasing. He is increasing more within wickedness. That is why the scripture says in Psalms 12 and 8, Psalms 12 and 8, the wicked walk on every side when the what? When the vilest men are exalted. All right? When the vilest men are exalted, as in what? Being in rulership. Being in rulership. And they are the vilest people upon the face of the earth. Pursuant to Job 30. Going back to Job 30. I will start from verse 1, Job 30 and 1, where it reads, all right? But now, they that are younger than I have me in derision, all right? How they are younger than us? Because of the blessing that was pertained unto us and not them. Though Esau was the firstborn, all right, the blessing and everything, it was not for him. It was never intended for him. It was the will of the Most High to give it unto Jacob. So it says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Because why? These people, down to the animals and all, having a hard time. Because these people, besides killing all the animals, these people is well known for bestiality on a high scale. On a high scale. These people are well known for defiling the animals by the way of sexual relations. On a high scale, these Edomites. This way it is. That alphabet acronym that they have there to describe these happy people. The B is not only for bisexual. The B is also for bestiality. Yeah? That B is also for bestiality because they perform that on a high scale, on a high level, man. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, whom in old age was perish. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. All right. This is when they were in the Caucasus Mountains, dragging on their knuckles. You understand? When they had fell from rulership, which was the pagan Roman Empire at the west, capital at Rome, Italy. All right. Verse 4: who cut up mallows for bushes, by the bushes, Salakia, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed. Under the nettles they were gathered together. Yeah? They were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men, the bases of men. They were viler than the earth. They were viler than the earth, and now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. They abhor me, they flee far from me, and they spare not to spit in my face. So now that they are in rulership, all right, they look at us as the peasants. They treat us as the peasants, us so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians, when we are the rightful rulers of the earth. All right? But the Lord put these people upon the face of the earth to bring shame unto us. And oh boy, they are bringing it. Just look at their actions and the way how they are ruling. Yeah? Yeah? Just look at how they are ruling. And you would, and this is why this is why the Lord, the Lord put us through this, for us to get to see and have the experience of being ruled under wickedness and knowing what unrighteous rulership is all about, so that when we come into power, we would know how to set the earth in order, give proper judgment, rule the earth in righteousness. You understand? Have the earth in order. There is where it is. This is what it is. That is why when you go to Isaiah 14 and 6, where it reads, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Yeah? With a continual stroke. Yeah? Much oppression. Much oppression. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindered, because the Lord is about to bring forth his judgment upon this man. This man, his time is up. His time is up. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. When this man fall, yeah, when this man fall, the whole earth is at rest, is going to be at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah? Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow, all right, no lumberjacks, all right, a lumberjack is also known as a fella, all right, is come up against us. The earth is going to be at rest. The earth is going to be rejuvenated. The earth is going to be cancer-free. Because why? these people is knocked off of rulership, all right, and brought back down to their low estate in which they're supposed to be. Hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee at thy coming, yeah, which is destruction. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, yeah, your pride, and all your wicked music and all these things is going to come down to an end. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Worms represent what? Death, decay. Take a look at your society. Take a look at your infrastructure. All right? Take a look at everything that you all, had, pride yourself with. Look at it now. Yeah, look at it now. Everything within Babylon is a decayed state, and not only in Babylon, all throughout where these Edomites dwell in, their society is in a decaying state. Yeah? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down unto the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Which is speaking about what? This is speaking about the elites. Alright? The Illuminati. The upper echelons, the 1% are the 1% of the 1%. Yeah? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation on the sides of the north, which is speaking about America and speaking about the children of Israel. Alright, that they would conquer us and have us under subjection and what have you, so forth. And he would exalt himself above the Most High and call himself the Most High. Yeah? That is why he said, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah? They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Is this the man? When this man fall, when this man fall, it's going to make shock waves throughout the four corners of the earth. When these people fall and turn to nothing, come to nothing, it's going to make shock waves. People are going to be in disbelief because this man who was ruling with so much pride and so much of a hammer, iron fist rulership. This man who had such a vast military, yeah, who could make war with the beasts. These things. Look at what this man has been reduced to. Yeah? They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all them lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast down out of thy grave, like an abominable branch, and as a raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under foot. So while the other nations, when they serve their slavery and go back to their lands, they're going to be rejoicing. But you, Esau, Edom, you are going to be exterminated off the face of the damn earth. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slay thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So no more Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, Seville, Prague, Sofia. All right, that is the capital. I think is Bulgaria. I forget where is the capital of Hungary. You know, no more Zurich, Switzerland, and Basel, Switzerland. No more Kaiserslautern. No more Dortmund. No more Munich. No more Babylon, America, in its entirety. No more. No more London. No more rulership of Esau, Edom. No more. This is what it is. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. A nation is derived from the man. So when the Lord cut off son and nephew, what are telling you? They are going to literally be eradicated off the face of the earth. I will make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts, which is what? Thermonuclear missile. Yeah? The Lord of hosts had sworn, saying, surely as I have taught, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. This is what it is. This is what it is, because he said what? Going back to Job. Job 34. Job 34 and 22. Job 34:22, where it reads, there is no darkness nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. Yeah? For he lay not up, for he will not lay upon man more than right. More than right, that he should enter into judgment with Yahweh. He shall break in pieces, he shall break in pieces the mighty men without number, all right, and set others in their stead, which goes back to Sirach 10 and 8. All right. Therefore he knoweth their works, and he overturneth them in the night, so that they are what? So that they are destroyed. And this is what is coming to them, destruction. Because these people are the wicked. All they know is wickedness. All they know is wickedness. That's why when they go to Proverbs 4 and 16, or I think 14, let me see 14. Yeah. Proverbs 4 and 14, where it reads what? Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine. All right, and drink the wine of violence. This is what it is. This is what it is with these people. Yeah? That is why the Lord said in Psalms 52, where the hell are going? Psalms 52, and I'll start at 1, Psalms 52 and 1, where it reads, Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? And as you can see who this is addressed to. Alright, when you read the title, to the chief musician, Meshach is Psalm of David. Alright, when Doeg the Edomite, Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. So as it reads, Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Yahweh endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischief, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. Yahweh shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of the dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear and laugh at him. And laugh at him. Because destruction is about to take hold on him. And when that take hold upon him, the saints is going to laugh and mock him. Alright, verse 7, Lo, this is the man that made not Yahweh his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. In his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I trust in the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because these people, they pride themselves with wickedness, boy. They pride themselves with wickedness. They pride themselves very much so with wickedness. That's why when they go to Psalm 73, Psalm 73 and 3, where it reads, For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bonds in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, because they are the ones that are creating the trouble. Neither are they plagued like other men, because they are the ones that are bringing the plagues. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. And the lady was just only speaking the truth. The truth. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish for. They are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out unto them. And they say, How doth Yahweh know? And is there any knowledge in the Most High? This is how prideful these people are. They're doing all this wickedness and what have you, so forth. And it's like, hey, there's no one that could stop us. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches by the way of wickedness, which is actually their blessing, the sword. You understand? This is what it is. I could go down to the rest, but what I want to bring out is to tie with this. Because this, when you come to as you go down to this when I go in the same scripture, before I go to that particular scripture where I want to go and look for, which is verse 17, Psalm 73 and 17, where it reads, until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh Then understood I their end. Verse 18, surely thou didst set them in a slippery place. Thou contendest them down. Thou castest them down, Salakia, into destruction. Alright? And when you get that understanding, alright, when you get that understanding, then you will get the understanding pursuant to how you paraphrase that scripture, boy. How you just paraphrase that, boy? Let me see, Abraham. Please. No, not please for Sodom, there no. Yeah, please dip thy finger. Let's see if I could get through with it for like from this. So right, which is right. So good. Luke 16 and 19. Let's take a look at that. Luke, the book of Luke 16, and now we see it from 19. Alright? Luke 16 and 19, where it reads, there was a certain rich man. Now this here is a parable. This here is parable and metaphorically speaking. Alright? It's types and allegories here with this scripture here. So as it says here, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. This is typing Esau Edom, the so-called white man. This is typing especially the upper elite, the Illuminati, alright, your Rothschild and your Rockefellers and the likes of such, alright, your so-called royal families and whatnot, so forth, throughout Europe and what have you, so forth. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus. Alright? Lazarus is typing Israel. Okay? Lazarus is typing Israel, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Alright? And the sores represent the curses and all the things that we've been going through, all the turmoil, the hardship that we've been going through. And desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the master's which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his wound, and the dogs represent the other nations. They helped forward the affliction. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell. Now, this is not speaking of no literal hell, because there is no such thing as hell as you Christians perceive. All right, this is speaking about a condition that they are going to be brought under, which is slavery. All right, that 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, where it reads, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off, and seeing Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. All right? So they will be begging for mercy. All right, because the slavery is going to be so hardcore. They are going to be begging for mercy. All right, so that, they could get out of their slavery. But what Abraham said? But Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, Alright? You all had received your benefits here on this side. Thou received good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. All right. Now this going into something else. All right. So this way it is here. This is what is coming for them. They think that all the wickedness and everything that they've been doing, that there's going to be no recompense, as the lady said. And that lady spoke the truth. That lady spoke the truth. All right? She spoke the truth. And as the scripture says, I think it's Galatians 4:16. I think it's Galatians. Let's see. Let's take a look. Galatians 4:16. Yeah, Galatians 4:16, where it reads, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That lady spoke the truth. And we know you all, we know whosoever within amongst you Edomites that hear this, we know there's etching and nerve within you. But it is the truth. It is the truth. But you know what the Lord said? Which will be the last scripture. Which will be the last scripture. He will let me see if I have it here. You will destroy them who alright, yeah. Revelation 11:18. Let's take a look at that. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18, where it reads, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath came. Alright? You know what? I will start from verse 16. Revelation 11:16, and the 4 and 20 elders which sat before the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, on their seats fell upon their faces and worship Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, Almighty Power, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And this is what is coming towards these people. These Edomites, the so-called white man, predominantly, because not all so-called white people are Edomites, but predominantly, the so-called white man is the nation of Esau, Edom. They are the race of Esau, Edom. They are the Edomites of the Bible. Hope you all was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad. Signing out. Saying Kal Halayam La Allah Yanawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Raka Kodash Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites. Shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat. Until again, Shalom Yasharala. Wa Abad Babal. Unto this wicked place, unto Esau Edom, unto Babylon the Great.